Hello lovelies, Rotating Joy Fox here. I'm gonna continue with what Deku was in danganronpa. I know I'm saying the name wrong, but hey, gotta give it a try, right? Okay, so where I left off is where Deku was left his luggage in his dorm room, his new dorm room, which is way more spacious and bigger than his old one, which was at UA. And he gets the uniform for the school. As he changed into them, the teacher said that he is a new transfer student, and she gives Deku his schedule as he looks around and accidentally bumps into, I don't know how to say his name right, but he's from class 7-8. He's like the compass. I forgot his talent. National Compass, I think that was. I forgot his name, and I'm sorry for anyone who actually likes that character, or to anyone who actually respects that character. But Deku bumps into him as he asks, "Why are you running in the halls?" As Deku said, "Oh, sorry, I am new here. I was looking for my class." As the guy said, "Oh, here, let me help you out." As Deku hands over his schedule, as the guy said, "Oh, you have some classes with me and my other classmates. Come on, I'll show you the way." As they continue talking and walking all the way to the classroom, as the teacher said, "Okay, class, we have a new transfer student. Can you please come in?" As Deku walks in with the moral compass. Okay, that's a sound. Moral compass. As Deku said, "Hello." As the moral compass sits down in the seat. As Deku said, "Hello, my name is Izuku Midoriya. I am happy to be here and meeting all of you." As Deku's like, the voice that Deku and the feeling that Deku is giving off is like very sweet and kind and gentle. Like, you could tell that he is the nicest person you will ever meet. As Deku says, as the teacher says, "Any questions you might want to ask him?" As one student raised their hand and asked, "What's your talent?" Like, in this school, no one cares about quirks. As Deku said, "Oh, I am the ultimate artist." And Deku said, "Ooh." Wait, no. The other student said, "Ooh. Can you draw something for us?" As Deku said, "Okay. Well, I could sure try. I really don't think you might like it." As Deku pulls out a sketchbook from his backpack and just sketched something out of nowhere so fast and so calibrated that it looks beautiful when he shows it. And Deku draws, hold on. Deku draws this. And it's like lanterns floating on water, which is something that they remember the dead in Japanese culture, I think it was. If it's not, and I'm sorry. Anyways, so Deku says, "How is that?" As they all like clapped and look at it, and they said it's like very pretty. Deku said, thanks." As the teacher said, "Oh, you could sit down next to Sayaka. Sayaka, please raise your hand." As Sayaka raises her hand, and Deku sees and walks over and then sits down next to her. As Deku pulls out like a notebook and pencil, like getting ready to like start a class. As the teacher continues like teaching, like people are like, after the class, Sayaka's like, well, the teacher pulled Sayaka and Deku aside, and the teacher asked Sayaka, "Can you please show Mr. Midoriya? You could just call me Midoriya." Mr. Midoriya around the school. Well, the teacher doesn't call him Mr. She just says Midoriya. She said, "Yeah, of course." Of course. As Sayaka continues like showing Deku around the school, as other people are like looking, and then one student said, "Hey, isn't that guy from the UA Sports Festival?" As Sayaka looks around and said, "Who?" As the classmate said, "The guy right next to you." You were so awesome. As Deku said, oh, thank you. But I really don't want to be reminded of what was the time over there. As the guy said, as the moral compass comes up and said, that was kind of rude, basically bombarding him with a question that was kind of personal, even though you saw the video on what he said on news. As Deku said, huh? As the moral compass pulls out his phone and then it goes on the news and then pulls it out, and then everyone in the hallway listens to the video on what Deku said. Deku said, "Ooh, yeah, might have destroyed those guys' reputation now. I want to see more of the school, where I could get a little bit more of a feel to it." As they continue going, and then they walk to the PE room, well, PE, and then they continue like doing more of the stuff on school campus until something bad happened, to the point. Yeah, the school does have students with quirks and some students without quirks, but who cares? Some students have mutations that will give them abilities and, the normal stuff. As the thing that happened outside that caused Hope's Peak Academy to shut down for a while is the fact that a fight broke out, leading into several murders that happened in the school. That was recorded by, you guessed it, Junko Enoshima. I hope I'm saying her name right. As this was posted live, and then most of the students from class were like, "Hey, Deku ain't here, so hopefully he dies." And they're like joking around, like not actually meaning for someone to die, but they knew that Deku actually said something on purpose on live television to cause their reputation to plummet. The thing I forgot to mention, what Deku does in his free time with the classmates is like go to parties with them, bring them to like festivals that was all over town, goes to Sayaka's band, well, meets Sayaka's friends. And the thing is, Deku does have his own like personal group of friends, and they do have a band, 3 girls and 2 boys, one being Deku, the other one being a close friend. And another thing I forgot to mention is the other talent that I forgot in the first video is that Deku learns how to bake, since baking is a technical part of art, because you can make baking into art. So Deku, I'm gonna continue. As Deku's room suddenly gets filled with paintings, as Sayaka does and the other groups of friends do have like a little sleepover, like in random people's like dorm room. I know it's weird, but who cares? As Deku's room was like filled with like paints, as Deku said, "Oh, I'm still not finished with decorating mine, so sorry if this looks weird." As the room is covered with beautiful murals of what happened and all this. And the thing is, Sayaka notices that Deku has paint on his arm, and she points this out. As Deku said, "Oh no, this is hydro dipping. And I made the liquid that makes hydro dipping for myself, and it glows in the dark, so it's not poisonous to my skin. So in fact, it actually does nothing to my skin. It's just permanently there. So yeah, that's gonna be a problem to get off, and now it's permanently there. So yay." As Deku and others are happy for a while until the school is shut down, and they were asked by the principal to swear an oath that they will stay in the school for as long as and then they build the school as a little shelter by covering up the windows for nothing could get inside. Cause one thing that happened is that a bomb flew in and broke one of the windows and injured a lot of students and also staff members. And that was by one of the class 1A students. I forgot which one should I put. I think it should be Sato, Sugar Guy. Sugar Guy tossed the bomb up there, but he was being manipulated by Bakugo, saying that he should toss it because no one cares about that school, no one cares about talents, all they care about is quirks. And by that, Sato was basically put in jail because of it. Because recordings show that Sato did toss it, but then they saw Bakugo behind him. So Sato reveals that Bakugo told him to do it. Bakugo gets way more, but Sato gets into juvie. And because of that, their reputations have shattered more. As Deku said, okay, let's continue boarding it up, and then board up the window. And then the tragedy happened in Hope's Peak, where Junko Enoshima manipulates all the students on going on a killing spree. And the thing is, Deku was not in Hope's Peak at the moment. He was in the Hope's Peak elementary school. And the thing is, Deku volunteered to go over there and help out students to come over to the actual Hope's Peak, leaving a lot of the staff members vulnerable to be attacked, as they told the staff members that they will be let loose but still be paid more than what they originally earned because of how their hard work was. As Deku continuously tells the kids to follow him, and then he sees a girl in a wheelchair, a girl with pink hair, a boy with blue hair, boy with a mask, and boy with orange hair. As Deku said, okay, come on you five, we have to go. It's not safe in the Hoax Peak's separate buildings. We have to go to the Hoax Peak Academy. As Deku said this in a calm voice, the students were a bit scared of Deku, a little bit, but knows that they could trust Deku because Deku was mainly there for them when when other people were not there. Anyway, so Deku brings the children to Hoax Peak, but then they see the massacre happen, which was the depressing point and the breaking point to Deku, as they see a person charge up with an axe, as Deku uses the remaining pieces of One for All and uses an attack shattering the axe. And I think this is enough.